So it's an important day. Bafana Bafana need all 3 points, non-negotiable, against Ethiopia at the FNB Stadium later on this evening. In fact, that kickoff is at 6 o'clock. But equally important will be what's happening out in the stands. For the first time in 18 months, South Africa will see the 12th man back in South African football, because 2,000 fans, in fact, it will be 1,700 from what we hear from the public, and about 300 tickets that were allocated to some of the officials of the South African Football Association. I'm joined right now by one of them, which is Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, the Chief Medical Officer at the South African Football Association. Dr. Ngwenya, good morning. Thanks for speaking to us on the AM Report. I suppose you didn't get much sleep when we spoke yesterday. You were nervous about what's going to happen today.
Good morning, Benji. Good morning to all your viewers. Indeed, it's a good morning. Yes, I didn't get much sleep because there was so much work to do even overnight. But I'm excited about the project. Yes, of course, I can't be not nervous, of course, because it's the first of its kind after the almost 2 years of drought, of fans not being there. And, we've been given a huge responsibility by the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, and the Honorable Natim Teta. So we are excited, yet at the same time we are nervous, but we are looking forward to the challenge.
What clinched it for you guys as a collective at SAFA in pitching your idea to, firstly, the Minister of Sport, the Minister of Health? I know you had a meeting with Dr. Joe Pasha last week at the Nasrec headquarters of SAFA. What clinched this deal for you guys?
First and foremost, this whole project is a project that is led by the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Honorable Natim Teta. So what we are actually doing, we are piloting his project because he's doing a comprehensive project of staggered return of fans. It's going to have bigger numbers than the 2,000 that we are talking about. So right now it's a pilot project, but what we essentially had at the back of our minds, and it was in support of what government is trying to achieve, because we all want to go to our normal lives. So government is saying, let us try and push the vaccination drive for people to vaccinate. And we also saying we are using football for people to vaccinate, because we want to get full capacity stadiums. So this is one of the things that we are actually pushing, the drive for vaccination. But when we went to the health ministry, they actually said, let us see what is your protocol in terms of the health protocol. What is it that you are going to do to make sure that you protect the people that will come into the stadium? They were very happy, and just to quote the Minister of Health, he even said, this is like music to my ears. The way you have actually pitched it, it is actually it sounds comprehensive. And we are going to support you. And the ministry has actually supported us every step of the way. Now, we needed to then go back to the leader of the project, the Minister of Sport, who had to then pitch it to the Minister of Culture, Honorable Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, who had to then review the regulations, because now we know that as of last week, spectators were not allowed at the stadium, but then the Minister of Sport had to work tirelessly to try and convince the Minister of Culture to change the regulations and update it such that it accommodates 2,000 fans.
And speaking of that number, 2,000, we were, as football fans, of course, bemoaning the fact that 2,000-ish, we're not going to be able to make it. And the FNB Stadium accommodates 94,000 spectators. So from what you're saying, this is not it. This is just testing the waters to see if the logistics are okay, and we will be increasing the number as we go along with the months, provided that, of course, people's health is where we want it to be.
Spot on, Benji. The minister has a comprehensive plan. I fortunately also sit in his sub-committee, adjudication committee, that looks at all these matters. We will be seeing more numbers probably even next month, if all goes well today. So this is just a pilot project to check, to make sure that we dot our I's and we cross our T's, and to make sure that our systems are in place and we tighten the loose screws if there's any. It's only a pilot project.
All right. So since the regulations do not only speak of SAFA and this Bafana game against Ethiopia, they say
I know
they say all sporting events. And have you had any chat with the professional arm of South African football, the PSL, to look at ways that it can be implemented? There's PSL matches happening this coming weekend. Is that a possibility at all?
Well, I can't really speak with authority talking for the professional wing of South African football. But what I know is that in the National Executive Committee meeting of South African Football Association last week, everyone was there, every stakeholder was there. When that decision was taken that we want to slowly allow fans to come back, everyone was there, including the Vice President of South African Football Association, who's the chairman of the league. So I'm sure that they're also looking into making sure that they are starting the process of allowing spectators back, but in a cautious manner. So as I can't say much about this coming weekend, Benji, because I haven't engaged them ever since the regulations have been promulgated. Because what was actually a stumbling block was the regulations, because we all know, and the PSL quoted it correctly by saying that the regulations are stating that spectators are not allowed. And indeed, spectators were not allowed as of last week.
Okay, so let's get tonight done first, and we'll look at the weekend.
Yes.
But Dr. Ngwenya, the one thing that is paramount in importance in all of this is people's health. And we all want everybody to go into the stadium, enjoy the game, come out safely. How do we ensure this at a football game? How do we make sure that when I'm happy, Bafana Bafana scores this evening, I'm not high-fiving, I'm not all of that? It's always been the headache when you think about what's going to happen should sport fans now be allowed to go to stadiums. How do we become happy in a restricted manner?
And responsible at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Benji, this project we've been working on for quite some time now, because as you would remember, we have seen even in the Euros where they had full capacity, we had to get lessons there. In the Confederations Cup in Cameroon last year, they had spectators. We got lessons there. So we've been working on this project. Now, for this particular match, everyone that has applied has received now their QR code via SMS or email. So they'll use that QR code to come with it to the stadium. So we'll need 3 documents. We'll need the QR code. We'll need the vaccination card that you have received from the Department of Health. We'll need your ID, original ID. So you'll go through Gate M and you will be verified there on EBDS. And once verified, then to make sure that all these 3 documents are talking to each other. We can't have a Benji and then a Thulani in another card. They have to speak to each other. And then you go through into the marquee. In the marquee, you'll get a wristband that has got your name and your seat number. And then after that, you'll be checked for symptoms and signs of COVID and screened, and also temperature test checking to check if your temperature is normal. Then you go through the turnstile, you'll meet the ushers. Ushers will then usher you to your designated seat. There will be ushers that will be monitoring the situations. All the fans will be on the east wing of the stadium, where there will be marshals who will be actually policing that people have got their mask on, people are social distancing and sitting at the designated seat. And when celebrating, people are allowed to celebrate, they are allowed to sing. However, they always have to have their mask on.
Wow. It sounds like a lot of work for you guys, the health officials. They But the players, how is it for them? I don't suppose as a medical officer you've had a chat with the players. You've had to make sure of the vaccination and the tests that were done. In fact, not the vaccination, but the tests. Yeah. Have they had anything to say about
it? About the recent offense?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they are all excited. You know, it's something exciting. It hasn't been done in a long time. They haven't seen fans in a long time, so they're excited. And in fact, they are actually buoyed up, especially because they won 3-1 away. So they are looking forward to make the fans proud here in the country. And in terms of the vaccination, it's not a requirement for them. At the moment, the FIFA and CAF regulations are saying those that are in zone 1 and 2 should have a PCR negative certificate that is not older than 48 hours. So I'm also a FIFA deployee in this match. I'm overseeing it as a FIFA deployee. So all the people that are in zone 1 and zone 2, all tested, they are all negative. Both teams, both team players and officials, and the match officials and broadcasters, ball retrievers, all negative. So we are looking forward to an exciting game.
All right. Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, at 8 o'clock this evening, what will be it for you? What will be that box ticker for you? What's giving you that cathartic sigh of relief to say, we've done it? How do you look at it?
At 8 o'clock, I would like to see people moving out of the stadium, having their mask on, excited. And I would like to see a situation where we still keep the physical distancing. And I'd like to see a situation where we don't have to be really going to people that are mixing together during the game. And I'd like to see an incident-free event. This will be done because of the teamwork that is there, and the ministry has also deployed the adjudication committee to oversee and police everything. And the team that we are working with together with stadium management is also excited and looking forward to this challenge. And I'd like to see an incident-free event, and hopefully, after jumping this hurdle, we'll then see more people coming to the stadium. And that is our primary goal, to see more people coming back to the stadium and the economy opening up for everyone that is associated with football.
Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, we are hoping for everything of the best, not just because we're football fans, but like you say, a lot of things ride on this in terms of the economy. So let's get fans back and hopefully the numbers grow. That's Dr. Thulani Ngwenya, Chief Medical Officer at the South African Football Association. And yeah, there's a lot of work to do this evening, not just on the pitch, but also on the stands.